Ugh. Sorry about that, gang. I just wanted to drop in this evening. Because I kind of felt this one I didn't want to wait on, so I thought I'd drop in just really quick. I forgot to close that. Darn you. Close that window, you sucker. Okay, there we go. Alright. The spoiler alert tab's up because we're going to also take a look at some other things while we're here. So I'm going to leave that tab up for now. But apparently, yeah, Russell T Davies has confirmed that spin-offs are coming. Quote-unquote time for the next stage. So, very, very exciting news to hear because one of the problems we've had with Doctor Who is the lack of spin-offs. Oh heck, how long has it been? Well, I think Class was the last attempt at a spin-off, and it didn't really work. And it seemed like when they did get that thing done, even the show creator bailed on it before they finally announced it was canceled. And the sad part of it was they tried to create a spin-off that was linked to a location instead of linking it to a companion or an organization or something like that. And that's where they really, really blew it. With Torchwood, you had Captain Jack Harkness in charge, and you had a group of characters with him. And then, we had Sarah Jane Adventures, which of course was tied to, Sarah Jane Smith. And then they create Class, which is tied to the Coal Hill Academy, which ain't even the same location as the Coal Hill School. So what the hell they were thinking with that, I do not know. I don't even want to comprehend. Now, given the fact, and we're going to go into speculation land just a little bit. Given the fact we're seeing a whole lot of Kate Stewart, plus the fact that maybe Chibnall was cued in on something, because remember at the end of Power of the Doctor, we had the group of companions there, and Kate Stewart says something about recruiting. So could it be we're going to have a unit spin-off? Given the fact that we see Kate in the filming for, I think, the 60th. We see Unit in the filming, and then now we've got Kate turning up, in the filming for, the next season. So that would be really, really nice to see, with Gemma Redgrave in charge. I've heard no words about Ingrid Oliver. And frankly, I don't care. But, give him my pass with Ingrid Oliver, who couldn't take a joke if they tried. But, all right, welcome aboard, everybody. How's it going? But let's look into this, shall we? I'm going to read some of this to you. Now, this is out of the Radio Times, which means they got... I love how they're using the term Hooniverse now. I wonder where they got that from. Okay, new Doctor Who episodes might still be months away, but returning showrunner Russell T Davies has kept the news coming, now confirming that new spin-offs are officially on the way. It's been rumored that with a big new budget and the backing of Disney+, Doctor Who could turn into a Marvel or Star Wars-style universe with spin-offs based on iconic monsters like the Daleks and the Cybermen. Now, looking to the future of the show, Davies has now confirmed that it's, quote, entering the next stage. Now, speaking about why it's the right time for him to turn to Doctor Who, he told GQ. Okay, so that's where Radio Times got this, which means I'm going to have to go for find the GQ article, because Radio Times will have split this into about half a dozen articles. Quote, so I thought, with no criticism whatsoever towards the people who were running it at the time, because they were running it within the BBC's measures, it was time for the next stage for Doctor Who. I thought the streaming platforms are ready, the spin-offs are ready. I always believed in spin-offs when I was there. I did Torchwood as a spin-off, the Sarah Jane Adventures, of course, as a spin-off. Those spin-offs declined when I left, and I can see why. And I very much left after 2008 when the money became scarce. I think that's fair enough for the public service broadcaster that the money is spent on other things. Now, spin-offs aren't the only thing that Davies is bringing back from its first reign as showrunner. As Dr. Icon's David Tennant, and of course, Catherine Tate are coming back. We all know that. And we know all that details right there. So, hang on, let's go take a look at the GQ arc. I'll put a link for that to you. I should have done it. I forgot to put the links up in the description because... Alright. It's under this one. Russell T Davies wants Edgar Wright to direct Doctor Who. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, they did break it down a little bit, and here's a nice interview. I'll put the links up after we're done with the live stream, so that way you can go visit these yourself. Normally I'd have them in there, and I completely forgot to put them in the damn box. My fault, my bad, I did it. I'm so sorry. Okay, so there you go. Okay. Alright, Doctor Who fans think they've spotted a key change in the TARDIS. And, okay, here we go. Yesterday, user Darren Griffiths posted some snaps. And if you click on that, I believe it takes you to his Twitter. And he stumbled on the set while he was wandering along coastal path in Welsh Wales. And they were quick to point out the windows are dirty at the bottom, while Griffiths himself added the police box sign at the top was also dulled down a bit. And he goes, I like how they've aged the TARDIS. So why the TARDIS has been given a new weathered look is not immediately clear. It remains to be seen whether this will be a specific plot point or just an altogether new look at the Doctor's trusty vehicle. Like I said, I wouldn't read into it too much because they do change the TARDIS exterior every now and then, as we all know. So, matter of fact, hang on. Darren Griffiths' Flickr page, which I stumbled on. I believe he had a link up to it, I believe, on Twitter. Here's some of the images. That is Shooty right there in the beanie, if I remember correctly, I think. Isn't it? No, that's not Shooty. Okay. That's the one. Oh, these are not the ones with Shooty here so far. The guy with the beanie, I think, because I could swear I saw Shooty wearing a similar hat. But these are the one with Millie Gibson. Kids keep going. Let's keep going. And then later we spotted Shooty wearing a certain kind of jacket, and they're saying he is going to be varying his costume a bit. And of course, we've gone from that into footballers. So, I'll link this to you as well, so you can go look at it yourself. Of course, this was filming in Pembrokeshire with Millie Gibson. And I hate it when it does that. Don't you hate it when your page does that? And, oh yeah, there's the ones with Shooty. Sorry. Let's see if we can bring these up really quick. Nancy, and I believe Shooty's wearing a beanie there. That's what I was thinking of. That's the thing. Check the jacket out. Pretty cool stuff. All right. 9 proven exercises for a flat stomach. Yeah, if you do about 1 billion of them, you might lose a pound. I hate those things. Okay. And over here, DoctorWhoFilming.com, we also got some more stuff here. And we've already covered most of this stuff here, so I probably won't even bother. Let's get rid of that. And I was looking up some images for RTD for the thumbnail. So this is the key thing I wanted to talk about right here is the new ideas, for spin-offs. I know, I don't know if they're going to do a... Nah, I highly doubt that, because even though Jenna Coleman would consider coming back, you're trying to get them both onto a show, Maisie and Jenna Coleman. Maisie Williams, I believe, and Jenna Coleman. That would be a hell of a trick to pull a casting. All right, hello to everybody who's tuning in. Welcome aboard if I haven't said hello already. Now, also another thing I think they were worried about is, remember, Liz Sladen passed away suddenly. A lot of the classic stars, Katie Manning, she's a ball of fire. She's a force of nature. Just an intense, brilliant spotlight of positive energy in the world. But she is getting on a bit. And like I said, but I'd like to see them, back. You have all these characters who are directly tied to the Doctor who you could easily have show up. Okay, sorry. I'm just catching up on the box here. Okay. I'm reading back over your comments here real quick, make sure I didn't miss anything. But it just, amazes me they're finally gotten around to talking about doing spinoffs. But as said before, the BBC, budget was, not looking all that great. You got to remember, various things are going on, with the license fee situation and things like that. And as I've told, that's right, I might be alienating half my audience. Somebody had the nerve to say that tonight, and I'm like, get out of here. You ain't even done anything with this channel except harp. Especially the catchy handle. But okay. It was just a comment I read. I'm like, yeah, right. Because I stood up for the Doctor and nobody else would. I'm an evil bastard. Okay. Yeah, it's like, dude, if you want to go back somebody like, that certain Irish guy, yeah, go read about what he said about killing the Chinese and tell me you still want to back that horse. Okay? Not exactly all there in the head case department. But yeah, like I said, I'm kind of excited, but like I said, the problem is we know if they do another Torchwood, and I highly doubt, I don't know if they'll do it or not, really. I'm not holding my hopes up for it. You got to remember, they can't touch John Barrowman now with a 500-foot pole because all these things he allegedly did back in, on the set of Arrow and stuff like that. And it's like, gosh, I'm sorry. There's, yet the other guy, Noel Clarke, skates with no charges, and he was being accused of outright sexual harassment. Yet they throw Barrowman under the bus. I still can't figure out how that happened. He's the one in trouble, but John Barrowman gets thrown under the bus. All right, so spin-offs. I don't know, guys. What do you think? What would you like to see as a spin-off? If you want, go ahead and type your answers there in the comment box. We'll read over them real quick. The thing is, if you do like a Dalek spin-off, could it be that Chibnall was also helping set that up with the traitor Dalek and Power of the Doctor? Because him and Russell T are friends. That's why I die laugh when people said RTD's going to come in and completely overwrite Chibnall's stuff. And I'm like, I don't see it happening. Because, a lot of people have forgotten that, Russell T Davies was kind of pissed when Moffat unwrote the Time War. It wasn't like a friendship deal breaker or anything like that. But he was a bit pissed about it. He didn't like the fact that, he did that and, undid the whole destruction of Gallifrey and things like that. So in a way, I like how people are harping on Chibnall for doing that. And it's like, you just killed Gallifrey again. Probably because he probably didn't agree with that decision either. I don't know why people are so obsessed with having the Time Lords there. The Time Lords weren't really doing much in the whole new series. And, why keep dragging them around like a dead goose on your back? There's no point. Okay, let's read through these. Yeah, class did continue on Big Finish. I don't know why everybody seems to think that's a new phenomenon. I think they've already had a couple of different sets come out. I remember because Sophie Aldred was on one, and I really tried to see if I could enjoy class on audio. And it just didn't work. It still doesn't work for me. I even tried listening to the Sophie Aldred one, but I can't stand the other characters. You got Crying Charlie. You got, Ram or whatever it was, who, 1 minute he's, the incredibly brave super He-Man hero, and the next minute he's Mr. Chicken. Then you got, of course, what's her name, who shares a heart with the Shadow guy, Shadowkin, and goodness gracious me, and then you got stone people boinking. Oh, I still don't know how the hell why did I have to see that? Ugh. Then you got the computer hacker girl who they barely used her abilities, and then you have a disabled actress who you've cured their paralysis, but at the end of the day, sooner or later, sometime they had to get rid of it because the actress was actually disabled. It's like, how are you going to continue that on? All right, we have a Master spinoff. Okay, that would be... The problem is, who would you get to do it? I'm sure, Sasha's going to probably want to go on to other things. We know Michelle Gomez has been busy, but at the same time, Doom Patrol's coming to an end after the 4th season. But she always seems to land on her feet, Michelle Gomez. And John Sims been kind of busy himself. So it'd be interesting to see who they got, they would get if they did a Master spinoff. Now, if you've listened to Big Finish had its own various spin-offs. Like there was, not just the regular ones. I'm talking way back. They had Cyberman, then they had Dalek Empire, which was interesting. I haven't listened to those in years. I'm going to have to dig them up, see if I still have a copy of those. Sorry. Ear itch. Okay. Well, okay. I like that idea. I have been yelling about a Paul McGann spinoff, and a lot of fans were too after Day of the Doctor. Night of the Doctor. But Moffat and BBC said, you can't do it. You can't have 2 doctors on at the same time. It would be confusing to the audience. Yeah, I believe Fugitive Doctor is getting her own Big Finish series. I heard Vinder is. And from what I've heard, they have been talking to Jodie Whittaker about doing a 13th Doctor audio series. And I'd really like to see that too. Or listen to it at least. Now, would they be able to get Mandip Gill? That's a good question. I can't see why not. I think she'd be up for it if Jodie's involved. Yep, Rassilon got kicked off of Gallifrey. He's still out there. And he has perpetual regenerations just like Tecteun had. Oh yeah, it could be a new incarnation of the Master, but what are you going to have him do? Go on to planets and wiping everybody out? He or she, whoever they pick up for the role. Lance Reddick, I could see that. I love him, and I also love his voice work that he did for Paradise PD. We do not know yet, Anna, what spin-offs he's got in mind. He just said spin-offs are definitely going to be the next stage. Like I said, I'm theorizing that Unit will likely be one of them, because we've seen a lot of Gemma Redgrave lately. Well, would they touch, even though we are, Absalom Dak, the Dalek guy. We did see a picture of him once on a view screen, and I can't remember which thing that was, where they were scanning through different records, and Absalom Dak was there. Like I said, they could do an A spinoff if I think Sophie would be more willing to do it. So, the Eight's Adventures, or like I said, the one I think that Rusty should have done, RTD, was Bannerman Road. He should have just. Oh yeah, that crew from Time Heist. Yeah, I remember them. I thought those were some pretty good characters to that story. I really enjoyed Time Heist and the characters that were introduced. I can't remember their names now because I've seen it. You haven't seen it in a long time. You had the guy who was the hacker, and I can't remember what the lady did. Sheesh, my brain's blanking. I got to go back and watch that one now. It's been a while since I have watched it. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's just so many good ideas for spin-offs for Doctor Who that you can go into. I'd love to see an 8th Doctor Adventures myself. I agree with you guys on that one. Because I think Paul McGann got, that's why I was so glad to be able to see he's appeared in the modern series even briefly. Yeah, even if they just gave me one big mini-series. I agree with you on that, Anna. Just give him a mini-series. I think it was so bad that we've only seen him, briefly empower the Doctor. 7 minutes for Night of the Doctor just so we can whack him to bring in John Hurt. And then, of course, 96, the 90-minute, the 96 movie, which was all an hour and a half. So I'd love to see Paul McGann get more in this. Very true. Like that's my problem with a Cyberman or a Dalek spinoff. What direction would it take? Where would they go with it? Maybe some kind of Cyberman resistance. That would be interesting. Frobisher. That's a good question, William. Will the spin-offs affect Big Finish? We know some of Big Finish, of course, has been made canon. Shadow Proclamation, with the Jadoon. Jo Martin as the fugitive doctor. I liked her in that role. That was pretty good. That was a pretty good idea. I was saying, they literally came up with the Jo Martin idea at the last minute. The fugitive doctor, and it really worked as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. Could you do Rassilon as a spinoff? Unless maybe he's trying to redeem himself. He does have perpetual regeneration, so you wouldn't have to worry about that nasty 12 limit, the one that was put in, Deadly Assassin. Oh, the Division. Yeah, but who would you put it under? Okay, someone could reform the Division. Yeah, sadly, I agree with you, Jen. They've talked about that before, and they always said it would, they would confuse the viewing audience. That's why you call the one the 8th Doctor Adventures. Like Big Finish did. But Okay, sorry. I'm loving your comments here, guys. Loving the comments. Yep. The 12 regeneration limit, Rassilon, and all that did not come into existence until Deadly Assassin. As the second Doctor had said, up to that point, he pretty much said his people could pretty much live forever, barring accident or injury or illness. And then, yeah, the 12 regeneration. What the heck's a regeneration? The 12 regeneration limit came in later. Matter of fact, Brain of Morbius was just before, the Deadly Assassin. It was a little ways before it. And they showed all those previous Doctors. Plus, like I said, you had Pertwee. I can't remember if it was Mind of Evil, telling somebody, I've been a scientist for thousands of, and he stops when he realizes he's about to say this out loud. I don't know. I don't think the Great Intelligent will work either, the Yeti show. Yetis on parade. So, folks, I'm going to get off here because I'm going to put the links into the box. Okay. I know. Plus, Tennant doesn't want to do this forever. He's getting a lot of other work. He mainly came in, to be the bridge for the 60th, because Shooty wasn't available. So keep thinking up ideas for spin-offs. Feel free to put them in the comment box of this video. I have got to get running. So everybody, please take care of yourselves and each other out there. Be kind, be calm, be safe. And if anything more comes in, we'll do another live stream. But if that doesn't happen, we'll see you all Monday, 5:20 a.m. Eastern Time in the parking lot for the live vlog. So take care, everyone. I'm running. Really enjoyed having you all here.